was a young man named Karmelo Anthony, just be named after the NBA player Karmelo Anthony, in Texas. He was at a track meet. It was raining outside, and the young white boy tried to get up under the tent with them, and he told him no. The black brother told him no, you can't get under the tent, and they had a scuffle started up, and the young black boy said, "Don't put your hands on me. If you put your hands on me, you're gonna find out." He pushed him, and the young black man stabbed him in the chest, and he eventually died. Do you think that it was self-defense?
Yeah.
Or do you think that he was out of line for stabbing him?
Well, you kind of went straight.
That was real fast.
Yeah, you missed a lot.
Well, that's the breakdown. That's what happened.
Breakdown, but it led up to more than that.
Yeah, it was more than that. You just gave an overview of it. And when you put it like that,
what was more?
That looked like self-defense.
Right. Well, it was. They kept picking on the boy.
I know.
They got to fighting. It was a twin. Yeah. And he got to fighting with one. He took his L. He went on about his business. I think it was at a party or something, right?
It was a track meet.
No, I'm talking about the first
He got
time.
stabbed at the track meet, but they beat his ass before that.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. And then when he come to school, they kept picking at him. So then I think he told the coaches how he want to feel well, something like that, and he went a little away from the coach, I think under the tree or wherever he was at, and they came picking at him. And then, you can go on with the conversation when they get to fighting. He defended himself.
So, time out. I heard they did not go to the same school, though.
All right.
No.
They didn't go to the
No,
same
they didn't.
No.
Okay, so
That's correct.
So
No.
I did a little thing on it the other night. So what it is, you got two brothers, and one of the brothers, of course, played linebacker. I don't know what the other brother played, but I know he was defensively. Quarterback. All right.
So it's twin
white
brothers and
two
a black
twin.
brother, obviously
Right.
named Karmelo
Right.
Anthony, if you couldn't figure that part out.
Absolutely. And the other guy's name is Austin Metcalf.
Austin Metcalf.
That's
So
right.
it started to rain, and the black guy, Karmelo, asked one of the coaches, "Can I go up on the tent?"
That's right.
Now the coach said yes. All right. So of course, when the guy goes up under the tent, now this is where things just happen in high school, especially when you're in high school. I imagine that these boys kind of knew each other because the black guy played running back,
Right.
the white guy played linebacker. So I'm sure there was a little bit when I see you a little bit,
Yeah.
and I got my brother. Little bit of testosterone got the flowing, and then of course when you go over, this is where the white guy crossed the line, and my vote is self-defense. When you go over there, all right, listen, man, you got to move. What I'm moving for,
That's
bro?
it. You're right.
Like, man, ain't finna move. So these are the words that white people don't want to hear.
Yeah.
When the kid says, "Touch me again and find out," that means you touched him the first time, right? So
Again,
he
that's
ain't gonna just
right.
come out of nowhere and say, "Touch me again and find out what happens." So one, you shouldn't have touched him the first time.
That's right.
But then if you bold enough to touch him again,
Right.
then that thing's happen. What people don't want to discuss that if it's under 5.5 inches in Texas, it's legal to have a knife.
Okay.
And people understand if you take out a 3-inch knife, it's a lot bigger than what you think. You can do. Hey, we seen what she do with blade out of her tongue. So just imagine if it's under 5.5 inches. Hey, the bottom line is, athletes got into it, got a little bit ruffled. Young man paid the price because they decided to go over there and ask the coach, say, "Hey, coach, you under our tent." Ask him to leave. That way the coach would say, "No, I gave him permission." So it's a bad choice made by Austin Metcalf, and he's no longer here. And I'm personally, when they do the trial, even though I wasn't there, is a reason they confiscated all the phones. Is reason that no longer is hot news because I think when it's over and said and done with, the young man's gonna get off.
And I don't even feel as though it should be a trial because it was self-defense, and it's sad that a life had to be taken. And this Anthony, he's gonna have to live with this for the rest of his life. But at the same token, if the roles were reversed, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
So it wasn't because both of them white boys be at home.
I think
Exactly.
anytime, now if you're talking about a track meet, I mean, for me, it's hard to see that on the field, you just under a tent and then you got a shank on you. Like that's like even
Right,
when you
that's
in
why-
prison,
that's why they
if
try
you
to
in
get-
prison and you got a
That's
shank
why
on
they
you,
try to get-
you can't even walk around prison all day with a shank on. You got to be ready. Like, oh, it's about to be a fight. You go get your shank.
Was
You
he?
can't just have
well,
a-
you gotta
But if he was bullied
You
before
got-
that,
That's what I'm going to say. You
if he
gotta
was bullied
remember
before
there
that,
you
maybe
go.
he was
Exactly.
I mean,
that's the
but
reason
I
why.
ain't got no proof of
That's
that
the well. I'm not going to say that's the reason why, but it will stand to reason that he's going to have some protection with him because they just whooped that boy's behind and they kept picking at him.
So you said the white twins jumped the black dude earlier that day.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, that part's rumor. I have no proof on that.
I didn't read that.
We're just assuming.
But all I'm saying is, whether they jumped him or not, it was a community field. And like I said, unless that murder weapon's over 5.5, come on, white people, you watching this or whatever, y'all carry. And when y'all say you can't carry a gun in, y'all have your pocket knives. Y'all have it on your side all the time. Yeah. So what's the difference than this young man allowed? And he had it in his backpack. So it wasn't like he just came playing.
So
but
that's the reason why we have to stop that bullying because somebody ended up dead, and it would have been just as well as if the other guy would have ended up dead.
They said the young black man was a great student. He was an A student. He was he played sports. He's never been in any trouble.
Team. So he had to be there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it ain't like he went out looking for trouble.
No.
Right.
He was trying to protect himself, and he just happened to stab the boy, and the young man died. And that's unfortunate that he died, but he has every right to protect himself.
You have a right to defend yourself, and you have a right not to be bullied and not to be picked on.
And them two boys weren't small.
I'm pretty sure.
Let's just be honest with you.
They was not.
Them two dudes were not small. Now, had they got their way and nobody stepped in, then what we saying? Right. Oh, I hit him the wrong way and he fell and busted his head.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, so now what are you saying?
That's accidental death.
You know, but I guarantee the outrage wouldn't be as much. Oh, well, that's just unfortunate to hit the guy and his involuntary manslaughter.
Yeah.
So that's what they would have switched it over to. But now since it's one of theirs.
And it's unfortunate that the case
is a controlled environment, though. Like, literally, I played football. I never ran track. Obviously, that wasn't my sport. But
we believe that. We know that.
I played organized sports in high school. And we went to hood high schools. And we went to other high schools that was more hood than we was. And we was going to fight. We was going to fight before the game or after the game. But it was going to be a fight. But definitely never on the field would it be a knife coming from a player. That's just, to me, that's just something that I ain't really never seen like that. Like I can see it in the stands. Definitely in the stands, there's gonna be some stabbings.
So Weightball, how you missing the point?
It happened in the stands. It happened in the stands.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of circumstantial stuff.
Yeah, because I'm like, the boy they had beat the boy up. It's not like, oh, I'm just gonna walk around with a knife.
How long ago was this ass?
It was just happened. It had just happened a few days ago, and then they kept picking at him.
So you got more story than everybody else. You like the nigga Tyrone had owed him $5, and then they was shooting dice, and the white boy whooped his ass the other day. Like you got the whole story.
Are you not listening? We just said it. He just said it.
It's unfortunate that the family is getting death threats.
Yeah,
and they have to move the trial to a whole other location.
Yeah,
the father had to take off work to protect his family because they're getting death threats from people. Because everybody said the white boy was such a good athlete, he had A1 scholarships in mind.
Right, that's what just happens, and that's why there's a little bit of
tragic.
Instead of them facing the reality that your child made a decision that cost his life, you just won't accept you're wrong, and that's the problem that I got with folks. I'm just gonna say,
I think the father did, because there was a guy that was doing this. There was some white nationalist that was really out there talking and using his son's image on their website and stuff. And the father called the guy. And he said, man, you the problem. Don't use my son for nothing. You're the reason my son's dead because you sitting here talking this division and talking all this hatred. And he called a guy that was pushing that. So
because it's heartbreaking. It is heartfelt.
Yeah, it's rough.
I mean.
Yeah, it's tragic.
It is.
It's tragic.
So no one should be rejoicing. It's a sad thing on both sides. But you have to own what.
But bullying is a real serious problem in high school and elementary schools and stuff. And if the boy has told higher authority that this has been happening and they can protect him, he has the right to protect himself.
I don't even want to put Metcalf in bullying. It could be bullying. I'm not saying that. I just know when you talking rivalry schools, former football or players now. Yeah. Man, it happened between my high school and Opelika. Yeah. Guys, athletes gonna talk.
Yeah,
we gonna that jump gonna get the flowing.
You may even get the fighting,
and it's pushing exchange. And unfortunately, this kid just made a bad choice on that day, and he lost his life.
Yeah. All right, we'll be right back after this, man.